Good afternoon, Niles, and hello to everyone who is joining us today. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon for Niles Voice of Business episode number 3. We had a little battle with technology today, so many apologies on the late start. This live stream will feature interviews with local business owners and professionals to provide resources and insights for the businesses of Niles. Today, CEO of Harris Chamber team, David Harris, joins us to provide insights into staying resilient through digital marketing strategies. Many of you may recognize David Harris. He handles our Niles Chamber map, and thanks for always being a resource for us. So David, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of how you got to being the CEO of Harris Chamber team?
Well, that's a long story. I'll give you a background. I have a long history in publishing. I've worked all over the world with chambers of commerce all over the world, actually. Been in publishing since almost 1994. Came back to the U.S., worked for and directed a number of chamber publishers in the United States. And then, I guess it was about 2-3 years ago, it just made sense for me to start something and decided to call it the Harris Chamber team. Basically something that I've been doing forever. And like I said, I've worked for hundreds of chambers around the country and world. So it just seemed natural for me to start my own.
Yeah. Wow. So you've worked with chambers across, the United States. So I know that you're based in Illinois, but what chambers do you mainly work with now?
Well, I've worked with a number of chambers in Arkansas, Benton, and Bryant. I've worked with a number of chambers, in Harris Chamber team. I've worked for a number of in Florida, Perdido, Crestview, Fort Walton, some really big ones down there. We've done some in Tennessee, Mount Juliet. A number of chambers across the northern suburbs here seem to be working with us. But the truth is, I've actually worked with from Tacoma, Washington to Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania, down to the tail end of Florida, from Tampa, across Texas, across New Mexico. I've really covered the entire United States. And then again, I was also the first person to do the British Chamber of Commerce publications for years over in Budapest. So I did all of their magazines, and that in itself was different because the British English as opposed to American English.
Yeah, definitely. And can you tell us a little bit about some of the core services that you provide as a company?
Well, Harris Chamber team is a little bit more. We do publishing. Our core is publishing, so we do maps with books. Mm-hmm. We're really good at raising money for chambers, but we also we have a lot of experience, and we have a really good team of basically tech guys. They do everything from web development, basic coding, consulting with technology, SEO work, really anything you need to function as a business and to put your message out there and put your company out there to get seen. We can do it.
And considering the shift, with the challenges of face-to-face businesses, I'm sure that SEO is probably at the top of the list for businesses, I would assume. Can you tell us a little bit about the importance of SEO? I know that some individuals understand it. Others are like, what is SEO?
The funny thing is SEO as a concept is really, it's changed. It used to be sort of a simple thing, whereas you put meta tags, set up your keywords in your content, tag your pictures, really simple basic stuff to get Google to see your site and to see it as a relevant site. But that's changed, and every year that changes. Every time they change the algorithm, that changes. Sometimes they want you to blog and put more content. Sometimes they want more backlinks. Basically, it's an ever-changing mechanism to get Google or the various search engines to see your site and to approve it and to put it in organic search. And I don't know if many of your listeners or watchers know this, but backlinks, which is having links to a chamber site, is one of the most important things you can do to be seen as a relevant company in a local, because the internet it's a global exchange platform. But to be honest with you, what they're trying to do is go more local, geolocal. And so what they try to do is they choose sites like news sites that are local or chambers of commerce sites as local. And when people are linked to them, that shows that this local business is a relevant or credible business. So by having backlinks to a chamber site, it actually improves your organic search dramatically.
Definitely. Yeah. The chamber is considered an authoritative site. So any of your backlinks that you have, even just being a member and having it on our directory, actually increases your SEO pretty well. And that's just my little bit of chamber plug. But definitely always good to be reaching out and kind of facilitating within your community. It can be effective on many different levels, but SEO being one. Can you tell us about, other than SEO, maybe some strategies that you would offer in the digital marketing world, considering the change?
Well, the thing is that um, there were so many other things that I didn't mention in my little spiel. I mean, you've got to have a presence on the social networking. You've got to be active on the
Right.
social. You've got to get followers. It can actually be a full-time job worrying about all the different functions to get seen online. You know, to get followers, to update and show different content, to tag pictures, to get people to like. There's all these different things. Uh, Basically, what you have to do is you have to spend the time understanding what is going to get people to your site or see your site.
Right.
You guys, as a chamber, have been really active, and it's very impressive because it's really an extensive effort and tiresome.
Appreciate that.
With all you've set up the secondary Facebook pages to drive people to go to the restaurant sites and to tag people in the restaurant sites and use the hashtags. That's really a good way of doing it. That's the kind of thing we can do, but with that sort of effort, it requires time. It requires energy. It requires new information. It requires somebody who understands how to do these things. And it's not something that happens in a minute. You don't do a bunch of pictures and hope to go viral over in one day. You have to really spend the time into interesting content, get people involved, get people active, get people to share your information. It's really an extensive effort.
Yeah. And if you are looking for what David is talking about in terms of the Facebook groups, those are called Niles Area Open for Business, or we have Niles Main Township businesses, and it's a restaurant and takeout delivery. You can find those on our Facebook page. We post to those pretty often and try and share information. But those have been honestly based on kind of what we've been doing. That's the first thing that we've done at the Niles Chamber. It's been super resourceful and creating conversation, which is important. I know that we've talked a little bit about the increasing barriers on face-to-face businesses and kind of the strategies to mitigate against that loss. Are you seeing any trends right now and keywords and kind of strategy that has shifted within this past month or 30 days?
Well, it's funny you say. I see people accepting that the web is going to be part of our lives, and to get more understanding what the web is. It's forcing people to spend the time because they can't leave the house or they can't leave, unless you're an essential business. It forces you to connect to, who heard of Zoom 2 or 3 months ago? Now Zoom is everywhere, and Zoom is a brilliant place to not only do meetings, but to record your meetings and create sort of online content. The thing is that for my side with publishing, for the next few weeks until this thing is done, the publishing aspect, the print aspect is, pretty much stopped. There's nothing you can do. You just have to wait it out. What you can do is still engage your audience with the various social networkings, spend the time to update the content on your site, really get a digital presence, start working on the backlinks, start working on those things that to interact with your, offer deals for your customers, make things easier for them to reach you, even during this time where things are closed up. There's still a lot of business to be done. We offer full consulting services, so that if a company is, maybe they don't understand what they need to do to get seen, or how to go online, or how to turn their business into something more digital, that's what we do. We have a national company. We have dozens of people around. We have to maintain the sales. We have to maintain the activity. So you have to understand what the digital age, and the digital age is brilliant because there's so many things that can make, doing business so much easier. I mean, when we were talking, there's so many, like we use Wave, Trello, GitHub, MailChimp, Google Drive, HubSpot, Calendly. There's all these different softwares that you can use and on platforms to make your business, to increase the speed of your business, to increase the outreach of your business, and to make yourself more, accessible, and to more organized, and to take some of the workload off you if you're a smaller business. I mean, like, for example, we use Paychecks for some of our staffing. They do pretty much everything. They do the hour the rates, pay all the taxes, all the things that I really don't want to do. They keep it up to speed, and they take care of it. Push a couple buttons, boom. We do billing for Harris Chamber Team, where we invoice hundreds of clients a month. Wave,
Right.
takes care of everything, puts it basically, sends off an invoice. Old days, you lick stamps, mail, send it off an invoice, hope that it gets to your client, wait for the client to respond, wait for the client to send back. Now you get Wave, boom. They can see the invoice in seconds, pay it in seconds, and you're paid.
Right. Creating more efficiency, especially in this downtime. I mean, some of us might consider this downtime as working harder, but definitely a time to be organizational and kind of focusing on how we can be more efficient once we reopen. I think that doing digital marketing and strategy is how we're going to stay resilient as businesses, considering the shift. But it's always great to know about some other resource tools that can help us with some project management, which I think is important. And if you know the Harris Chamber team like I do, I know that they are very great at staying organized and being communicative. If you're ever looking to reach out to them, you can give them a call here. It's 850-296-0759, or you can email them at info@harrischamberteam.com. Visit their website, which is www.harrischamberteam.com. And if you're looking to get in contact and you want to reach out via the chamber, you can always reach me at chase@nileschamber.com. These are just some of the ways that you can get in contact with him. What are some of the initial steps in terms of, someone reaching out that wants to start in terms of digital marketing and strategy and SEO that you would take?
Well, other than calling me, and if you wanted to call me, that's 850-305-3142. And you can also email me at sales@harrischamberteam.com. So what are the first steps? Is that what you're asking? What are the first steps for the digital marketing? First of all, check out your website. Make sure it's up to date. Make it's got the security certificates. Make sure that you got some new content in on it. Use this time to write stories, write informational sources. Really take your time to present the message or educate your potential clients. This is a really good time for this. Take the time, write messages, become an authority. Share that content on the social networking sites in a way that, so that people can share it and say, hey, look, this person's smart. I really appreciate their advice. Let me get in contact with them. That's really the starting point. There's a lot of things you can do with digital marketing, but you don't have to go crazy. You can start simple. Do your website. Make sure it's up to date. Do new content. Go on the social networking sites. Go and connect with these chamber websites and start sharing your information to show that you're still working during this downturn. You've got the frontline people that are in the healthcare and that sort of thing they're out there in the streets, but we're all still working in some capacity. We're all still beating the streets digitally.
Definitely, yeah. And if you're looking for some businesses that are online and doing digital, go to thenilschamber.com. We have updated all of our members, David included, for some of their change in operations. So if it's by appointment, limited services, and etc. Thanks everyone for who joined us today, and David for providing some insights into the digital marketing space. We really appreciate you kind of giving us the insights that we need in our businesses and our Niles community. Please feel free to join those Facebook groups that we've talked about. They are open to any Niles business. And if you'd like to reach out to us, just feel free to give that contact info a shout. Stay well and stay strong, Niles. Until next week.
Thank you.